Hello everyone and welcome to another R&R Partners video. Today we are going to discuss how to update your civil status in Romania. If you are new to the channel and you're interested in either emigrating to Romania or setting up a new company in Romania, please consider subscribing to our YouTube channel. So, in order to update your civil status in Romania, first of all, you need to be a Romanian citizen. Either you left when you were a child or later in your life, it doesn't matter. As long as there's a civil status event which took place while you were abroad, you need to register that event in Romania in order to obtain an updated ID document, either a passport or a national ID card. Before we start discussing about the procedure, where to file the documents, what are the necessary documents, let's clear out what is a civil status event. So, there are 4 types of civil status events that must be registered in Romania. One would be the birth of a child. So, if you've been abroad and your child was born abroad, you must register that civil status event in Romania. If you've been abroad and you've met the love of your life abroad and you got married abroad, that event must be registered in Romania. If you've been abroad and by certain circumstances you've changed your name, that event must be registered in Romania. Also, in case you've divorced abroad, that event must also be registered in Romania. And lastly, let's say you've been out of Romania with your husband and something happened to him, then happened to him in the way that he passed away, then that event must be registered because you in Romania will be considered as a married Romanian citizen. With the exception of registering the birth of your child, in case one of the previous events happened in your life and you did not register them in Romania, there's a big probability that you don't have a valid ID card or passport, or even if you have one, in case it expires, your current passport will not be extended, so you will not be issued a new passport until you do not register all the civil status events, so your current status matches the one that is in the Romanian civil status registries. Many of you will ask, okay, I am a natural born citizen, I have my birth certificate with a CMP number, I was married, I divorced abroad, and now I want a new passport to come back home. What happens in that situation? Well, the most the Romanian authorities will do if you have an expired passport would be to give you a slip, a certification that you're a Romanian citizen and you are entitled to be home, to return to Romania. And while you're in Romania, you'll get a temporary ID card, which allows you to be identified by the Romanian authorities. But that document will not allow you to travel within the EU, leave the Romanian soil, or do anything with regards to your citizenship other than staying in Romania and clarifying your civil status documents. If you are in one of the above mentioned situations and you don't know where to start, what to do note that you can always book a consultation with us and we can help you out to figure out what your situation is and what you need to do so you'll have no problems with the civil status procedures. So, the first question that we are going to answer during this video would be where to properly submit your application. If you are in Romania and you want to submit in Romania, the rule of thumb is that you submit your application at your last domicile. So, if you've been living in Bucharest before you left to the United States and you've got married in the United States, your last ID card has Bucharest District 2 as your domicile, you need to submit at Bucharest District 2 for the registration of the civil status event. However, if you've never lived in Romania and you don't know to have any address in Romania, usually the address where you need to register all the civil status events would be Bucharest District 1. Alternatively, you can also register the civil status events abroad at the Romanian consulate. However, we've seen that the consulates sometimes have requests either for additional documents, and also they do have certain limitations on the civil status events that they can register. The second question that we are going to answer today would be the relevant documents. What you need to bring from abroad to certify that event actually happened and how you can prove that this is a civil status event that needs to be registered. So the document from abroad is the civil status document. The birth certificate, marriage certificate, divorce sentence if you divorced in front of a court, divorce certificate if you divorced in front of a public authority from abroad, the death certificate, the certificate of change of name. However, any of these documents need to be certified for international use. This means that either it has the procedure for international legalization with recognition via the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, it has an apostille, or in certain conditions they don't need any additional certifications. However, presenting the document from abroad which certifies that a certain civil status event occurred will not limit the additional documents that you need to present. For example, in case you've been abroad, you are married with a foreigner and your child was born abroad, you must also give a statement from your spouse, the foreign citizen, who accepts the naturalization or acquiring the Romanian citizenship by your child as long as he's under 18. In case we are discussing about the marriage, we need another document which will certify for both spouses the names after the marriage. We need a document which certifies the law applicable to the marriage, how you'll handle the goods, are they joint custody, do you have separation of goods. For the change of name, you also need to provide a document which certifies the exact date when you change that name. For divorces, it's a little bit more complicated. However, if you went in front of the court, the sentence must also state when that divorce was final. And also if the spouse was present or it was a decree that was given in absence of your husband. If you found this content useful, we would highly appreciate it if you hit the like button, so it will help out our channel out, reaching other people, and you can also help out other expats who are probably in search of additional information for registering their foreign civil status documents. As a last note, there are particular situations in which you need to go to a court in order to register the civil status event that took place abroad. For example, if you divorced in a country where you do not have the citizenship, for example, you went in the Seychelles and that's where you divorced, but you don't have their citizenship, the divorce sentence needs to be recognized by the Romanian courts before it will be accepted by the civil status authority. Now that you know the basics about the civil status procedure, I am sure that you are going to go through the procedure a little bit faster and you're not going to waste time finding out where to go, what are the basic documents, and what you need to do in order to register the civil status event. However, if you do not want to have any stress about the procedure and you want everything to go flawlessly, you can always send us an email and we can try to help you out so you don't have to come to Romania and you can do everything remotely. That's it for today. Thank you for watching. I hope that you got some useful information, and if you want to be up to date with what we are doing and all our activity, you can also follow us on Facebook or Instagram, as we also post there frequently, and you'll be up to date with our activity. See you soon and have a nice day. Bye!